So as you all probably know, this is the CMF Phone 2 Pro. Now personally, I wasn't expecting much from a phone that costs around 200 quid, but this is really giving me some flagship vibes, certainly from phones costing 3, 4 or even 500 quid. So what's my thoughts? Let's find out. So straight out of the box, the CMF Phone 2 Pro is clean. You get a clear case, USB-C cable, and of course the phone. No charger, but that's standard these days. And of course they've got that industrial design with the visible screws where you can attach an extra back. You've got camera lenses and you've got wallets and stuff like that you can attach onto the back. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to access those, but there's plenty of videos on YouTube showing those. But yeah, it's got a really unique design. Not personally something that I would pick, but certainly it will appeal to some people. But unfortunately for me, the plastic, at least on this white model, does feel quite cheap. It does cheapen the appeal of this phone. I think it's a little bit different with the orange model, but certainly on this white one, it just makes the phone feel a little bit cheap. So not great as a first impression. The 6.7-inch AMOLED display, however, is one of the biggest wins here. It's a Full HD Plus, super crisp, and 120Hz refresh rate just makes everything feel buttery smooth. From scrolling through social media to watching Netflix, this screen definitely holds its own. And it's certainly bright enough outdoors. Naturally, it's not going to be the brightest on the market, but it's absolutely fine for using outdoors in the brightest of conditions. My one bugbear with this display though that I did find actually when sitting at my desk about a week ago is the auto brightness was driving me absolutely insane. All of a sudden, it would just go really dim for no reason whatsoever. I'd manually flip it up brighter and then it would do the same again. Whether other people have got the same issue or whether that's just a glitch with my unit here, but yeah, that's just something that really frustrated me at the time. But overall, use outdoors, it's been absolutely fine, no problems whatsoever. And if we talk performance, this is where the CMF Phone 2 Pro definitely punches above its price tag. Powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7300 Pro, a 4nm chip paired with 8 gigs of RAM and either 128 or 256 gigs of storage, this isn't just fast for a budget phone, it's fast full stop. Apps open instantly, switching between tasks is smooth, and even playing a few games ran with zero issues. It's not going to replace your gaming phone, of course, or perform as good as more expensive models, but it certainly punches above its weight for casual to moderate gaming. And I've been using this as my daily phone on and off for the last week to week and a half, and I was never at a stage where I thought, wow, I really wish this phone was just a little bit faster. It was plenty fast enough for me in my everyday use. And a few little extras. Like I said, you get micro SD card expansion if the 128 or even the 256 gigs is not quite enough for you. It's a dual SIM phone and you also get Wi-Fi 6, which is pretty good at this price point. The CMF didn't really cheap out on the internals. Everything just works surprisingly fast. Okay, so let's talk about those cameras. And this is often where budget phones usually cut corners. You've got a 50 megapixel main, a 50 megapixel telephoto with 2x optical zoom, and an 8 megapixel ultrawide, plus a 16 megapixel selfie camera. This certainly sounds promising. And yeah, in good light, these cameras are actually pretty good. The colors for the most part are natural. I did find a few instances where they looked a little bit muted. The detail is solid, and the 2x telephoto is surprisingly capable. Naturally, the ultra-wide is probably the least polished of the three lenses, and of course you get less detail from just 8 megapixels, but overall in good daylight it produces some pretty usable photos. And naturally in low light is where things take a bit of a dip. There's no optical image stabilization, so it can get a little soft or noisy, but it's still very usable. And certainly for that £200 price, you rarely get a triple camera system with 3 usable cameras. They usually take away the telephoto camera, just having a main and an ultra-wide, and then some crappy depth or macro camera. So the fact that you've got 3 usable lenses here, although they're not the best on the market, of course, the flexibility is still there. And video tops out at 4K 30 from the main camera, and then 1080p 30 from the selfie camera. And overall, these are just basic bog standard video quality, nothing to rave about too much. But if you're just taking a few videos of your kids or your pets, etc., they'll perform absolutely fine. And battery life is an area where CMF doesn't disappoint. You get a large 5000 mAh battery in this pretty slim profile, and that gets me through a full day, no problem whatsoever. You also get 33 watt fast charging, which is not the fastest on the market, but it is enough to get you around 50% in 30 minutes. So Yeah, it's not the fastest, like I said, but the 5000 mAh battery gets me through a full day, no problem. Plenty of use of the camera, plenty of outdoor use with full brightness on. Yeah, no problems with that battery life for sure. And one of the main areas where I think nothing are going to try and sway people into their ecosystem is their clean software. It's clean, minimal, and refreshingly free from bloatware. No weird pre-installed apps, no duplicate services, just a super light Android skin with some extras like plenty of customization options, and there are a few of Nothing's own apps on there just for a seamless integration into their ecosystem. And Nothing promised 3 years of major Android updates and 6 years of security patches. While it's not the best support on the market, for a relatively new company, that's not too bad at all. Although a lot of the bigger companies are offering 4, 5, or 6 years of software updates, even on the budget phones. It's a good start, absolutely. Hopefully this will increase over time. And now, while this is a really cool and unique looking phone, it's not perfect. Here's what I didn't necessarily love. There's only a single speaker. Yeah, it's loud enough, but it's not super rich. Stereo speakers, of course, would have been nice. The IP54 rating means it will survive a splash, but don't take it in the shower. And while the modular back is cool, the accessories aren't everywhere just yet. But honestly, these feel like nitpicks more than anything. Just remember that the phone is around 200 quid, so those little nitpicks aren't going to be deal breakers for everybody. So my verdict on the CMF Phone 2 Pro, you could certainly put it there as one of the best 200-ish pound phones you can buy right now. You're getting a sharp AMOLED display, reliable performance, long battery life, clean software, and a decent camera setup, all wrapped up in a design that stands out. And this is just a good way to showcase to the other manufacturers that phones don't have to be boring. Personally for me, I do kind of like a more boring, minimalist design, but for some, this is going to be an absolutely ideal phone in terms of its overall use and how it looks. So, would I recommend the CMF Phone 2 Pro? Absolutely. If you want a phone that does everything really well and a perfectly usable triple camera system and a phone that doesn't empty your wallet, the CMF Phone 2 Pro is a really great option. But of course, as usual, drop your comments down below to let me know what you think of the CMF Phone 2 Pro. Drop a subscribe on the channel if you're interested in more videos a little bit like this. Let me know if there's any other budget phones you want me to take a look at, and I will see you in the next video.